Solve the nonlinear system of equations, where the first is 4x squared plus y squared is equal to 16, and the second is x squared plus y squared is equal to 4. Now, since all of the terms in both equations are quadratic terms or squared terms, then the best method to use is the addition method. So recall from the addition method in linear systems that you pick a variable to cancel out and then, multiply either of the equations by some sort of constant to get the variable to cancel out once you add them. So it looks like the y variable is easiest to cancel out, especially if we multiply the second equation by -1. So let's do that. Let's multiply the second equation by -1. So the first equation is going to stay the same, and the second equation is going to become minus x squared minus y squared is equal to -4. Remember, if we're multiplying the whole equation, that means we're multiplying every single term by the same thing. So now, using the addition method, we want to add these two guys together. So the y squareds cancel out, which is what we wanted, and we get 3x squared on the left, and then 16 minus 4, which is 12 on the right. So now, solving for x, we divide both sides by 3, which means x squared is equal to 4, and then finally the last step for solving for x is to take the square root of both sides. So we get x is equal to plus or minus the square root of 4, or x is equal to plus or minus 2. So now we have two possible values for x, right? We have x is equal to 2 and x is equal to -2. But the system of equations is in two variables, right? X and y. So what we need to do is to solve for y for each of these x's. So what I want to do is plug x is equal to 2 and x is equal to -2 into one of the original two equations. So either 4x squared plus y squared is equal to 16, or x squared plus y squared is equal to 4. Now, x squared plus y squared is equal to 4, it looks like the better equation, right? It's less cumbersome to deal with. So let's plug it into that one. So now, let's try x is equal to 2 first. Then we have x squared, which is 2 squared, plus y squared is equal to 4. So y squared is equal to 4 minus 2 squared, or minus 4, right? So y squared is equal to 0. And the only way that can be is if y was equal to 0 to begin with. So the solution set here would be the ordered pair x comma y. So when x is equal to 2, y is equal to 0. So here the solution is 2, 0. So now we want to do the same for x is equal to -2. So we get -2 squared plus y squared is equal to 4, which gives us, and -2 squared is just +4, right? So y squared is equal to 4 minus 4, which again is 0, which can only mean that y itself was 0. So now we write the answer in terms of that ordered pair again. When x is equal to -2, y is equal to 0. So we get -2, 0. So we have these two solutions in the orange, and we can say the solutions to the system are 2, 0 and -2, 0.